Welcome back to episode 24 of the MHN Sports Minute. I'm your host, John Ogden, and this is the last episode of the fall sports season. Here's a varsity football update from their Thanksgiving Day game. Our football team looked to play spoiler against Littleton on Thanksgiving Day, as Littleton's coach, Mike Lynn, announced his retirement before the game, and the boys came out on top in a big 29-14 win. In the first drive, the Tigers marched right down the field, while senior Thomas Hirsch punched the ball in on the ground to cap off the drive. Later in the first half, your Tigers would continue their dominance of the ground, getting the ball down to the Littleton 24, where on a 4th and 1, the Tigers faked the run and threw a pass, catching Littleton off guard for a touchdown from quarterback Connor Capone to tight end Pat Andrews. Coming out of the half, up 14-6, Littleton would throw a pick to Maynard's star defensive lineman Drew Hobbs. Way to go. Maynard would capitalize by punching it in once again behind a run from Thomas Hirsch for his second on the day. Thomas's brother Tavin would score on a fake extra point to put the Tigers up by 16. On the next drive, Littleton would throw another interception, this time to star linebacker Pat Andrews. Later on in the game, Maynard's defense would force a huge 4th down stop to get the ball back and would score behind the legs of who else but Thomas Hirsch for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. Maynard walked out of Littleton with a win behind the game's offensive MVP Thomas Hirsch, who along with his 3 touchdowns had over 200 yards on the ground, giving him over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. Very impressive. The game's defensive MVP, Drew Hobbs, got 1 interception and was an anchor and leader for the defensive line. The Tigers finished the season 7-4, garnering themselves a playoff appearance, one of only 2 teams in Central Mass Division 5 to accomplish this feat. Shout out to Johnny Madej, who along with writing and editing this podcast, served as an assistant coach on the sideline of every game this year. His future in football seems bright, and I personally look forward to seeing where it takes him. That's all for episode 24 of the MHN Sports Minute. I've been your host, John Ogden. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of the fall sports, as this is the first season of the MHN Sports Minute, a podcast series that we introduced just this year in hopes of highlighting all of our student athletes in the Maynard High community. We will see you next time for a winter season preview.